Hello everyone, we are the fifth group. Our teams has Shan, Shuai, Qi, and Even. The content is divided into 4 parts, namely introduction, precedent, analyze, and design. The issue our group address are about the inequalities in life of people with disabilities and their low priority in China. WHO recognized disabilities as a global public health issue, a human rights issue, and development priorities. People with disabilities are often treated unfair because there are physical disabilities. They are more likely to face violence and abuse than ordinary people. Therefore, according to the Sustainable Development Goals, our project is mainly to reduce the inequality between disabled and able-bodied peoples and improve the quality of life of disabled people. According to the data survey, there are more than 1 billion disabled people in the world, accounting for about 15% of world's population. The location we chose was Chongqing, which is known as Mountain City. The proportion of disabled people in Chongqing is 6.05% of the total population. Due to the terrain, it's more difficult for disabled people to travel here. This is to generate persona based on the desktop survey. In a 3D city like Chongqing, China, it's more difficult for disabled to travel, so choice of travel and travel mode for disabled living here is particularly important. Because they are disabled, their main pinpoint is that they often encounter refusal to go out alone and take a taxi. Based on the previous investigation and analyze how might we are proposed. Chief among them is how might we make travel with disabilities as easy as travel for able-bodied people. Next is SWOT analyze for a navigation app for disabled people.
Okay, next we can see 3 precedents. The first precedent is assessor map. Assessor map tools solve the problems to the other navigation to counter-avoid special situations such as encountering communication road sections and how towards router funding in SDES. Taking into account the user level of the mobile, it is different from the other navigations in that it's very important to point to the demand that the optimized router is not optimized for time or distance, but for factors such as altitude change and curb cuts. This provides the actors help for people with limited mobility. However, the negative still has some shortcoming. It's not an app lacks a head mode and has a single function, which has certain limitations in use. The next we can see the second is a wearable device. Designer for the visuals impart people is allowing them people to feel color and imagine through the multiple dimensions. Although this device can be used for better perception by visuals, impart people is excited. There are certain limitations. It cannot replace the human glasses and just put people in the virtual world, but it also gives us a central disconnection to self-visual impart people through the wearable device. The third is to compare to the accessory care here software on the market. All of this traveling app and relaxation will functioning, and each product is on functions. but it is limited to used by normal people. This is true. Apps do not have special features required user by disabled people. Through this, the 3% our redesign combines the 3% to design a branding new app and product that is more convenient to serve people with disabilities.
And this is our conceptual framework. And based on the framework, we summarize the factors that need to be taken into account for the app. And in addition, due to the visual, auditory, cognitive, and motor defects of the people with disabilities, our app will be designed with a focus on color contrast, brightness, colorblind mode, sound cues, higher visual clarity, and a clear hierarchy.
Results of preliminary research and survival. An app with created suit the need of people with disability. This app will help them to travel safely and easily. In this app, they can create features according to their needs. Second, so that they can eat without discriminations. This is because some restaurants restrict wheelchair. The recommended food around them and they can use the function to know if the restaurant has service for wheelchair or other disability. An interactive community has been added to the app where they can communicate and share their life with each other. Though there is also my page which can be adapted to suit your habit. This is a follow chart of all the functions of our entire app. The whole basic page is divided into home page, recommended page, community page, and my page. The home page is divided into the main address which are make the appointment, parking, wheelchair ramp, and photo feedback. The other basic page will be made up of survey page. This is perhaps draw of our app. Next, the presentation of the basic interface. Starting with the King Kong area in the home page, we have place and main function. The user to see those functions more clear, and they can select them according their needs. Those functions are appointment, photo feedback, parking, and wheelchair ramp. This is the recommendations page where user can clearly see which restaurant has service for people with disability. This is a community where they can communicate with each other, share their life with each other, and enjoy the circle of interest. This is my page. The user according to their hobbies for functional study and others function. Next of the car booking function page. First, the user can check on the booking function and then fill in the pickup and drop off locations, and they can make time booking. Once you have selected a time, you will be redirected to a secret to confirm your booking. The user can fill in the form according to their need. For example, neighbors or for passengers, whether the driver need to carry a hand crab. This means that they can plan their travel in advance and tell the driver in advance to prepare some toys for getting into the car to make the trip more fun.
The navigation function of the disabled parking lot is mainly a search of nearby disabled-friendly parking space, and display the parking space in the parking lot. User can get results of the surrounding disabled parking space according to the search. After selecting their recommended parking lot with more weekends and closer distance to choose from. Turn on the navigation and follow the navigation to find the desired parking space. In addition, three-dimensional navigation and voice-controlled navigation are also provided, making it more convenient for disabled people to use. The following is the park space design for the disabled in China. The length of normal vehicle parking space is 5.6 meters and the width is 1.8 meters and not more than 2.2 meters. Here, the disabled parking space is widened to a width of 3.6 meters for the disabled to operate. A no parking area is added to the left of parking space to prevent the vehicles next to the disabled parking space from colliding with each other. At the same time, new energy vehicles become more and more popular, and the new energy vehicle charging sockets are also provided on the parking space.
And through our research, we learned that currently there are many disabled facilities in Chongqing that are built for the sake of the building and lack actual functionality. And the feedback system can take the needs and difficulty of the disabled people visible. The green dots indicate that the facility can be used, yellow dots indicate that uncertainty, and the red dots indicate that a facility can't be used. And in the user interface, the user can visually see the status of the facility so that they can decide whether they want to pass through it or not. And in addition, users can share photos of existing facilities or leave comments on where accessibility is still needed. And this data is then processed and marked on the map as green or yellow or red dots. And in the atmosphere interface, the administrators can clearly see which facilities have problems with the mark, and also it is easier for them to collect data and collect the design or features for different areas. And to go and verify the feedback from users one by one could be very labor intensive, and that's why we have designed this regular access drone. This drone is equipped with a high definition camera on its base, which help managers to observe the condition of the facility and then schedule a site visit based on the video assess the status of the facility. The design helps the manager to eliminate many false and misleading reports. The drone's color scheme is blue and white to match the product scheme, making it highly visible when flying around the city. Measuring about 30 centimeters long and 20 centimeters wide, the drone is unique narrow shape and small size help it get through small spaces and fly so smoothly in city buildings. And this is a running effect.
According to the previous design, we can say that like servers for the visuals impaired. We add up a protector accessed to the app on the original basis. This protector is warmable earphone. The earphone is also equipped with a camera. The role of the camera is to help them travel. The protector is used in combination with the app. When the user uses the handset, double check the headset, it will be linked to the consumer servers, and the consumer servers can help them through the camera. This is our picture of the protector. When the user taps of the headset, the consumer servers will be a vector, and the user can be sent to the receive instructions through the headset. This can be seen by the user warms misters. This protector is required by every disabled person who downloads the app. It's only designed to the fortunately better traveling for people with visual impairments need to be purchased separately. This is our reference. This is end of my presentation. Thanks.